Hey everyone, I'm Christian, your host of Casually Christian, presented by Livestream My Event. Before we get started, please remember to hit like and subscribe and hit that notification bell on YouTube so we could get more followers. And if we get more followers, more people will see this out there. So please support. So tonight we are going to vent without sounding whiny or playing the victim. It's really important for people to vent out their frustrations. It's cathartic and it releases some stress, and it's a good way to just let it out, you know. But we're also going to talk about how not only just complaining or venting, positive ways of dealing with it, so it won't hit, you won't hit it negatively in your life. So today, joining us is Josh Martin. He's a returning guest. What's up, buddy?
What's up? How are you?
I'm doing well, man. You know, just moved into this new loft, and I have quite a story. I'm gonna vent about this experience. So, we got a whole good hour, to talk about that.
All right, cool. Can't wait to hear about it.
What have you been up to since our last show?
What have I been up to? Where do I start, honestly?
Like, well, how are the book sales right now? How are your book sales?
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been, honestly, like, they have exceeded my expectations.
Really?
I thought I was just going to sell the books to friends and family and sell 50 books. And I wanted to price them at I think I priced the book at like 15 or 20 bucks or something. And
Really?
I'm like, all right, 50 people are going to buy my book. That'll be enough to, gain what I lost and then move on with my life. But no, I actually sold a lot of books.
Excellent, man. Well, congratulations. I saw that you also came out with the audiobook too, right?
I did. Yeah, I did. So, actually, when you had me on the last time, we were talking very briefly about Audible and, the fact that I submitted the application. There's a whole application process that you have to go through. And I submitted it. This was,
I remember that,
5-6 months ago, something like that. And then I was waiting and waiting. I didn't hear back from them. And then finally I heard back from them and they approved it. So right, I'm really happy about that.
Is it, how much is it? Is it, where can people find it?
Oh, it's exclusively on Audible.
Audible. Okay. Yeah. All right. Right on, man. And also, I saw that you're a singer too. Like you started singing. You came out with like a song. I saw people listening to it, man. And I heard a bit of it. And it sounds pretty good. Like, what made you want to do that?
Thank you. So I've been a songwriter since I was like 10, 11 years old.
Yeah.
I've been doing music, and what was really interesting is that I kind of put that to the side to focus on the career, that's been really good to me, and same career that I'm on right now in healthcare and call centers, which is why I wrote that book in the first place. And it's just been really good to me, and I kind of pushed it off to the side, and I've been writing all these songs, and I have like over freaking probably 250 songs. And I just never released them. And I felt like this sense of urgency to release the music all of a sudden. And so I went ahead and I released the first one. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. I put it out on YouTube, and then there's like 70, 80,000 views right now, which is pretty crazy. And
nice.
The song itself is a demo. So what I want to do is I want to write music for other artists, and so I have to demo the song so that they can hear it. It's kind of like if you've ever been to an open house and you see certain like model homes and they're staged, and they're staged for a reason. It's like there's like psychology behind that. You walk in and you can see yourself living in that space, and so it's so important. And so the demo is kind of like the equivalent of that in music.
I see.
And
Okay.
you send it off to whatever artist that you're interested in, pitching it to,
Mm.
and then they listen to it and say, okay, I'll pick it up from here, and then they'll sing it.
Yeah.
So I recorded the demo. I'm not a singer, never claimed to be a singer, not a good singer, and I recorded the demo. I put it out there, and then it became really popular. So I'm like, all right, so I'm just gonna put it on
Well,
Spotify,
congratulations on that too, man.
iTunes.
What's
Thank you.
the song called? So people can find it.
It's called Dulce Amor.
Okay. Well, there you go, you guys. Check it out on YouTube and like.
Thank you. And it's not under Joshua Martin. It's under Martin.
Martin. Well, right on, man. I'll check it out and give it a like as well. So let's get to it. So tonight
cool.
we're gonna vent our frustrations, and this show's more than just about bitching. You know what I mean? It's about how you're dealing with venting, getting it out there in the positive ways. You get through it. So if you're watching this through the live feed, if you want to vent with us, just write your story and I'll read it out during the show. So yeah. So Josh, what's something that's bugged you like recently, or who knows, like what's something that you want to vent out that's been troubling you?
Well, I will say that I had a job for 13 years,
Mhm.
and it was the same job. And because of COVID, I lost it. And so that kind of like, for a while there, I was a little, it was like, a valley moment for me. And I was just like, what am I going to do? I was trying to process the information. I didn't know. As an adult, I had never lost a job. Since I was working since I was 14 years old,
Mm.
going from one job to another to a better opportunity to a better opportunity. And then all of a sudden, after 13 years, I lose this job. And I'm just like, what do I do? So for the first time in my life, I took a break, and it was like an intentional break. So I worked on music. We went traveling. So Robert and I went traveling. We did a bunch of things. Like one of my favorite things that we did was we would just play 80s music in my living room,
Yeah.
and we would just dance. And it was just both of us.
That's cool, man. So like, because it sounds like you're a hustler, which you are. Like you're just used to always working, and so you were upset that you didn't have something to go to, like something like a structure where you go to work, you do your thing, you come back, like the routine of it. So you're kind of throwing like a monkey wrench in your bike, and you just kind of got out of there. So you kind of in the way like you figured out how to just let go, and you started to relax and just live in the moment, right? Is that
yeah, no, definitely. And that was hard for me, because I've been working since I was like I said, 14, and I'm used to structure. I'm used to waking up at a certain time, going to work, coming home, either working out or there's like I'm on a schedule, and it's a rhythm, and I've been doing that for a very long time, and then all of a sudden I lose my job, and I find myself at home not knowing what to do, and I'm like, all right, what do I do now? So I had a lot of time on my hands, so I decided to finish mastering the irate caller. I released the book, and then that was kind of like a job in itself, promoting it and doing everything that I had to do to get it out there, and that was a lot of work, and all of the videos that I did for like the call center tips and all of that stuff was like a lot of work. So it kind of felt, although I took a break, it didn't feel like I took a break. It felt like work.
It was like the creative year for you, like to get to write, to do your music, and just work on yourself. So that's the positive thing that you got out of it. And it's like is there a moment that you ever vented in the wrong way and then you lost your temper with somebody and it hurt your relationship like in that way? And what did you do to come back from it?
Lost my temper.
Because
I've
we're
lost,
all human. We all, we all lose our temper.
yeah, yeah. I've lost my temper quite a bit, and God, I don't remember the last time I did that where like it impacted a relationship.
Yeah.
Um, I would say I honestly I can't think of anything right now, but I know that I've lost my temper with friends and family members and my significant other, and but it's never to the point where I lose them and then I have to go back to them, like with an apology. Like I'm really zen. Like I'm really zen. I get angry, but at the same time I can snap out of it like super quick.
Yeah. You take like a breath and just kind of you collect yourself.
Yeah,
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 and I think it's part of growing up, because like when you're younger, I knew when I was younger, I didn't care and I just lost my temper, and then it's like, oh shit, I messed up. I
yeah,
should apologize, and I do. And the reason we're doing this topic tonight is because, as you could tell, I'm in a new home, and it was quite an experience getting, moving to this loft, and because of COVID, we couldn't afford a two-bedroom anymore, so we had to uh, find a place that we could afford. And we were like on the time clock, because each month we had to pay like more and more and more, and it was depleting our funds. So we had to find a place, and we only have one vehicle, so it had to be close to John's job. So that was another factor. So we couldn't live far away because it wouldn't work out. So
yeah,
I talked to the property management, and I asked them if we could transfer to a one bedroom, and they seemed like they were cool with it. And then as I approached them again, they said they didn't want to do transfers because the deposit, it pays for the damage of the apartment, retouching the paint, new carpet and all
right.
that stuff. So they'll lose money with the transfer. So they said, if we do an estimate, and if you guys could cover the cost of whatever the apartment needs, will we'll let you transfer. And we agreed to it. And we set a day to get the guy there to assess the touch ups and all that. And they wouldn't move forward if it was going to be like a ridiculous amount of money. So in the end, it cost about 610, as a deposit, so we can move to the other place. Like, sure, well, we all pitched in, and as we were doing it, they gave us a call, and they said, well, we know we did like we did the first checkup. We're going to do another one because they want to check out the carpet. But it was kind of dumb because they were going to replace the carpet anyways. They said like they wanted to make sure that because we have a dog, and she peed more than a few times on the carpet.
Right.
So it's like, all right, sure, but she's like a little dog. So the guy came in, and he just had like the black light, and he even he took up the carpet, and he said like the floorboards were damaged, and they had to do like this cleanup, and the chart, like it would be too much money, so they denied us. And what the property manager said in the end is that we could give you the apartment, but you need to get rid of your dogs. And she said it in a nicer way, but she said, we'll give you the place if you ditch the dogs. And I snapped at her because it took us she told us this like 2 days before we were going to move out, and there was boxes all over the place. We called the utility company, to shut off the power on this day and get the guy to remove the fridge. It was like a big hassle. And
Yeah.
now she denied us that we couldn't go because of the dogs, which is, I thought it was dumb. Because when I went in the room, I lifted up the carpet, and there was no floorboards. It was just concrete. It was like, what's the damage? Just replace the carpet, which you guys were going to do anyways.
Right.
So it was very frustrating, because what was frustrating about it is that the lady who was helping me out, she was very cold and icy. She was very like, she just didn't care. As we
Mhm.
were approaching her, like John talked, said like, well, what's going on with the transfer? So he went to talk to her in person, and she totally spaced it. I was like, thank you for reminding me. I forgot about you guys. I'm like, it's like, that's not something you want to say to your, your client, it's, you keep that to yourself, and just like, oh yeah, but she's very like cold in the way she handled the whole situation. And
Right.
then it was the icing on the cake was that, she said that get rid of the dogs and we'll give you the apartment. And I snapped at her. I says like, well, I can't, my dogs aren't, it's not a used car. I just can't get rid of my dogs, And then she got
Right.
all quiet. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. I realize that, they're your pets and they're part of the family, and all this stuff. And she was kind of like, she was making me feel better. But I felt like I was just very, very angry like that. It took her 2 days for us to be denied, and she had like the whole month. She in which I could totally respect it. It was like, all right, if it was like the middle of the month, I was like, fine. But it was like 2 days. We were about to move. We were getting everything prepped, and she's like, no, it's not going to happen. So we had to pay like the rent for that month, and we were on the hunt for an apartment the next day on Saturday. So we went to this ghetto place in uh, in down Imperial, down the 105, and the
Okay.
pictures looked fine. Like the apartment looked fine, but when we got there, I'm like, this is the fucking place. I'm like, it looks pretty janky. It was pretty run down, and
Yeah,
we went in.
pictures are deceiving.
Yeah, like yeah, totally, man. So I mean, the apartments when we got inside it looked nice, but they were charging like top dollar for it. I was like, well, I wouldn't mind paying this much if it had the amenities like as a like a washer and dryer, or like a gym, a bigger pool. But everything seemed like it was stuck in time, frozen in time. So we didn't look at we didn't go to that one, and then we found Metro Points, because I lived in Norwalk all my life, and I always this complex has always stuck out. And it's like, well, let's just check this place out. It's close to John's work. He could, buy a bike and go, bike it to work. And we checked it out, and we found this loft, and it was in our price range, and we decided to go. And yeah, and all throughout it, I was really bummed out, like about not getting the transfer, because it's like John's work was literally like on the other side of the wall. He could like get a ladder and just go to work. That's how close it was. And like during that night where like we were denied that transfer in those 2 days that we were supposed to move, like I took a long shower. I let the water run down on me. I was trying to like center myself. It's like it's just a temporary problem. We'll find a solution. Like be grateful. Like you have hot water. You're healthy. Sort of shape. I was looking at the positives instead of the negatives, because
Right.
I was sulking. You know what I mean? I was upset, but I was trying to calm myself. And with with John and Alex, they helped, talking to them and talking it out. The way, everything settled down. And yeah, it was very, it was, I'm looking at, I mean, the place where we're living at right now, it's pretty good. So I think it happened for a reason. So
Yeah. It looks good.
yeah.
You're gonna have
Um,
to have me over next time you have a little
oh yeah, for sure, man. I mean, John's
housewarming
birthday.
party or whatever.
Yeah.
After this settles,
Yeah. More
right?
shenanigans.
Right?
Yeah. Um, so if anybody's watching this live feed, if you want to comment on, you want to express, if you want to let out any grievances about something that you're dealing with, do so right now. We'll read it and we'll talk about it. And other than that, man, like what other things, Josh? What other things have upset you that that you try to not lose your temper with somebody? Like what's like one of your pet peeves?
You know what? One of my big pet peeves during quarantine was reading about, I don't want to say his name, 45,
What?
uh, old 45.
Oh, okay. I don't know what that is.
The
Oh,
previous.
yeah, Trump. You can say Trump.
I don't want
Just don't say it 3 times and it'll appear.
to. Okay, Queen Mary. Right. So no, I was a little. I was really bothered by that whole situation, and then number one, we had COVID hit, right?
Yeah.
And then that was an issue in itself. And then we had Black Lives Matter, and then the protests happened, and that was that was interesting, because I had family members go to the actual protests, and there were protests in Utah, in around Salt Lake City, where there was a man that just drove into the crowd, and
Yeah.
I freaked out because I knew my family was there. I knew my nieces were there, and it just really freaked me out. And I was just sending messages to everybody. Hey, are you okay? I know you were there. What happened? So that whole situation was like really scary, and I just wanted to. At that point, I just wanted to do what I could to support the Black community and BLM, and what can I do? And at the time, I didn't have a job. I had lost, like I told you, I had lost my job. So the only thing that I was able to do is commission a Black artist to do the voiceover for Mastering the Irate Caller. And so I hired a super, super talented guy named Ron Garner, and he did the voice of on the audiobook. So it's on Audible now. If you listen to, I love listening to it because his voice to me sounds like it's to me it's like butter. I love it, and it's really soothing. It's very ASMR, and I love listening to it. And I've been listening to it for the last 6 months, but now that it's on Audible, it like has a completely different feel. And so now I'm just on Audible listening to my own. It's like it's as if I recently heard that Gwen called K-Rock and was like, "Hey, can you play our song? Can you play Just a Girl?"
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that situation. I'm supporting myself on Audible.
That's good, man. Like you have to promote yourself because nobody's gonna do it.
Yep.
Have you got any like trolls on your book or anything like that? Because
Oh,
I got some trolls like doing casually Christian. Like when I started my
yeah.
TikTok for this show, like people were saying like negative, but we're not following. Was like, well, this is dumb. We're like, hey, come on, guys. I don't even know you. Just don't comment. Just move on. But I
Right.
don't know. That was my little thing that happened with starting the show. I got a couple of trolls. What about what's your story?
Interesting. I have had a lot of trolls. I've had a lot of
Really?
people who just like I was talking to Robert about this the other day, and I was telling him, I was like, there's people on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube that are saying, who cares? Nobody cares. Go F yourself. So you see all these comments, and to me, honestly, to me, they're funny. I find it entertaining, the fact that people are it's kind of like that old saying, there no publicity or bad publicity, or what's the saying?
The saying is like no. It's on the tip of my tongue. It's called no, bad publicity is better than no publicity. I think that's the saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or there's no such thing as bad publicity, or whatever the saying is, right? So I read the comments, and I do read the comments. So just so you know, and I'm reading them, and a lot of them just make me chuckle, and I don't.
It's like childish. It's like juvenile.
It's stupid. Like one of my nieces told me that she had responded to some negative comment. She's like, "Oh yeah, I told them, to F off," and I'm like, well, thank you. That was sweet, but you don't have to do that. None of this stuff is, I'm not taking any of it personal. So I'm okay.
Well, I want to know what kind of stuff they said to you, man. What's one that stuck out to you? Because I want to know.
Well, this is okay. There's one that said, "This is a waste of my time. Why are you showing up on my playlists? What's another one? I don't know. Just stupid random stuff. Oh, there
Yeah.
was a guy that randomly said nobody cares. That was my favorite one. Nobody cares.
It's like, all right, you sort of care for commenting. They gave you,
You
I don't
care,
know.
okay, and that's exactly what I was thinking. It's like, okay, you cared enough to comment.
Yeah.
Nobody cares, so somebody cares, right?
Like the trolls are usually just like, I think they're just teenagers, just like
Yeah,
adolescent boys, just
right.
trying to vent to themselves, and they do it as, being trolls. But,
Yeah.
I laugh at that stuff too. And actually, when I, when I buy stuff like on Amazon, I like reading the comments to find, and I look for the trolls in the comments to see what they're gonna bitch about, and they're really entertaining to read.
It's true. I mean, it's entertaining, it's funny,
Yeah,
but you're right. I mean, it's usually 13, 12-year-old people, kids putting all these negative stuff out there, and it's almost as if they have a job to go out there and find something to complain about,
yeah,
and that's what they do. But I don't take any of that stuff personally, and
yeah.
you just
Me
can't.
neither.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I just laugh at it. You just can't take it personal.
it's just part of the job. If you're like somebody creative, who's trying to
Yeah,
sell something, like it's just like you're gonna deal with these trolls, and you laugh, and then you just move on.
right,
I
right.
see. Some people comment is like people can make a point without disrespecting one another, but it's always where people go. What a shame.
Yeah,
Thank you, Anna, for commenting. And yeah, it's just I think people who do that, they're not mature mentally. They could be old. You know what I mean? Older, mature, but like mentally still act like a child. They throw like tantrums and belittle your opinion, or you know what I mean. You could
hey, Christian,
disagree with somebody, and
I'm
still be
curious.
friends.
I'm curious to know what people have said about you.
Like, like, well, as in what way? Like my personality, my looks.
Anything,
That's
whatever you want to share.
well, when I, because my boyfriends, they caught COVID, and I had nothing to do for 2 weeks, and I desperately needed like a haircut, and I'm a little thin on top, and people have been telling me it's like, you should just shave it off, dude. You should just shave it off, and for a long time I was holding it off, and having those 2 weeks just not having anything to do, I was like, okay, I'll just shave it off. And I did it, and it looks pretty good. Like my mom, she hated it. Like when I showed it, when she first saw me like this, she's like, no, 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 no me gusta. And then it's
No,
because like her boy grew up. You know what I mean? I'm a man now.
yeah,
She still sees me as the boy who doesn't like onions in his cheeseburgers, and like he doesn't like corn in the rice, so she doesn't do that. I was like, I'm almost in my 40, mom. Like I like everything now. But like like
you should say 40.
I'm close to my 40s. Like I would
Okay,
say maybe like what 4 years away, something like that.
are you
Like
really?
yeah,
I'm
like I'm 37.
I'm a lot closer to 40 than you
You
are.
look great. I
Oh,
think it's
thank.
because we don't have kids. Having kids is a factor.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, it is. I mean,
Yeah,
I in a way I do have kids. I have
they're
two
fur
dogs.
babies. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
okay.
they're babies.
Yeah, my fur babies are right here. They chill with me when I'm up here. I like
Yeah.
that. But yeah, like, and then going back to my mom,
Uh-huh.
I was hanging out with her because my brother wanted me to come over to hang out. I was like, nah, sure. So I go down and we're just like talking, and then she looked at me and she's like, you know what, you look pretty good like that. I was like, thanks, mom. So she came around. She came around to the whole look.
Yeah.
You know?
I like it, honestly. It
Oh,
looks
thanks. I noticed that a lot of people started following me on Instagram ever since I shaved my head, and I have no idea what that's about. Yeah, I'm like, what's going on here? I'm like, I don't know. Sometimes I look at myself and I miss this dorky side of me because I felt like the hair added like something to my character. You know what I
right.
mean? But now like I'm a different. I don't know. I'm still adjusting it. Like what I noticed shaving my head is that I get colder. Like I feel the breeze now.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's like now I have to wear a hoodie when I go out in the morning, and I would put on a beanie, but I looked at myself and it's like it doesn't work with this look. It
No,
doesn't. I tried it. I showed John and Alex, and they said no, don't wear that beanie.
yeah. No, you
Uh,
look good. You look good. I
thank
like
you.
your blazer. I like your shirt.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Um,
looks
but I guess let's see something else that people said about me. Well, the girls at work they say I'm funny, so that's good. Yeah, it's like there's this new girl that
you wouldn't have a podcast if you weren't funny.
oh, thanks, man. Because I like making people laugh, even if it's the jokes are bad. But that's show business. But
Right?
yeah, like because I'm I'm sort of like the oldest guy, like in my department. I mean, there are older people, but like the girls that I talk to, my peers, they're younger. They're I would say 10 years younger than me. So I talk to them and they don't know any of my references. I asked one of them, it's like, oh, can you just make a Xerox copy? And the girls looked at me. It's like, what's a Xerox copy? I'm like, no, no way, no way. I'm like, I'm not that fucking old. It's a
Yeah.
copy, you know. And yeah, I think it's funny, but at the same time, I'm starting to hanging with them. I realize that I'm getting a little older, So I
Right.
feel like the people that I do see eye to eye with are the older cats that they because I watch a lot of '80s shows, a lot of '90s stuff, so
Is
we're
it?
on par. Yeah, we had like the same interests, but like with the kids at work, they're all about that Bad Bunny, whoever that guy is. But yeah,
I like Bad Bunny.
I don't know. I mean, he's cute, I guess, but I don't listen to that music. But like a lot of people also like I get a lot of what's that called prejudgment about me. They look at me and they already have like an idea of my character. And when I first started at where I'm working at right now, there's this manager that I have my radio. I have like playing in the backgrounds because I have to have something playing in the background because I can't work with like silence. So like I had it on and it's like, oh, you like alternative rock, huh? It's like, oh, like yeah, but I still like other things. But she jumped at that, you know what I mean? Because I had like that look, you know what I mean? That like the Nirvana and the Offspring and stuff like that. But I listen to a little bit of everything. And then other people think that I only speak Spanish, and they approach me as like, hey, senor, like they're right away they assume.
Hey,
um
senor.
yeah, and like
Actually,
everybody.
you're giving me a Billy Corgan vibe right now.
Billy Corgan, hey, Smashing Pumpkins, bro.
Smashing Pumpkins. There you
Ah,
go.
man, what's your favorite Smashing Pumpkins song?
Oh God. I really love the cover that they did of Landslide. I love that song.
Which one?
The the cover of Landslide.
If I hear it, I don't
Fleetwood Mac.
oh, Fleetwood. Oh, yes, yeah. Oh, what's up, John? What's going
What's up,
on?
John?
Oh, he's tending to his plants.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's 6:30. It's time it's time for them to feed the plants.
Yeah, their Fleetwood Mac cover is really good. I like Ava Adore. God, there's so many. All of their albums are so good.
They have I like what's it called? Damn it, Adore. I like that song from the Smashing Pumpkins.
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah.
Is that what it's called, or is it called Eva Adore, or is it just Adore?
God,
Yeah, I
I
know,
don't
but
remember.
they have a lot of good music. But
Yeah.
yeah. Is there anything that people assume about you right away that bugs you? You know what
Yes.
I mean? They already develop something that like they pictured you, but it's like that's not me.
Yeah. You know what? It's funny because when you don't look at you're not watching yourself, right? You don't have a
Yeah.
camera on you. You're not watching yourself, and it's just interesting because like I've been told, especially at work, I've been told that I look like I walk around. I guess I navigate the office as though I look as though I'm better than everybody,
Mm.
or I don't know. Like I'm just like I don't know. It's just weird. I think it's just they take it as though I think that I'm better than
Yes.
them, which is
Um,
not at
Not true.
at all.
Yeah.
Like I'm super. Like I mean, I come from. First of all, I grew up in Norwalk. You know, that's number one. Number two, it's like I have a sense of humor. You know, number three, it's like I don't know where these people are getting this from, but that's the feedback that I get, you know. And so you do have people that, you know, are a little standoffish because they think, oh, well, he thinks he's better than us. He thinks he's smarter than us.
Yeah.
And, you know, even I have family members where I am, you know, I try to educate myself. You know, I didn't get the best education in Norwalk High School, so I try to educate myself. And because I'm using vocabulary that maybe they're not accustomed to, all of a sudden it's like, oh, who do you think you are? You know, I've gotten that all the time. It's like, you know, first of all, I'm Mexican. I'm from Chihuahua. I'm from La Chona. And then people are like, oh, what? You think you're white?
They're fucking hating, bro.
It's
I
like,
don't
no,
see
I
how.
don't think I'm white. I know I'm
Yeah.
proud to be Mexican.
Yeah.
I'm a proud Mexican American.
I don't see how people like look at that like, oh, like they look at somebody's skin color, you know,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, if he's white, they think they're better than everybody else, and if they're brown, they're ghetto or something like that. I hate that, you know,
Right.
and that profiling.
Yep.
We get it all the time, dude. You know, I mean,
Have you ever gotten that?
oh yeah, man, all the time. I mean, like, I remember I was driving with John to. We're going down Florence Boulevard, and we're turning into like a plaza. And I guess I got into some. I got in the way of a car, and then it was like a SUV, and the girl, she honked her horn. It was like a big fat white lady, and she screamed like, "Go back to Mexico!" You know? I'm like, well, I know poquito Spanish, but but she looked at my skin color and she already assumed that, I was an illegal and I was in her country, taking the jobs. And it's nothing further than the truth. And that's I wish that it was the only time somebody said that to me, but it had to be like the third or the second time somebody said that to me because of my skin color, and I'm walking around like listening to Nirvana, you know, but because you're like your skin is lighter, you've never gotten that, I would assume.
You know what? I'll tell you about a time that I went to Las Vegas for New Year's Eve, and I was in a truck full of people, full of friends, and my brother. And my brother, first of all, I don't know if you've ever met my brother. Oh,
I don't
you
think I have. I only met your sister.
right? Okay, so my brother looks like LL Cool J,
Oh, okay. Right
and
on.
when
I got
I'm
to see a
hanging
picture
out,
now.
yeah, he lives in Utah, and my brother Jose, and whenever we're hanging out together, nobody would ever know that we're brothers. If
Yeah.
anything, and because he's very touching, he's very lovey dovey. I'm sure people think that we're a couple if we're ever, if we're ever hanging out together. But my brother Jose, I remember we went to Vegas for New Year's Eve, and it was a spur of the moment type of thing. We go and we were going to all these different hotels. They were at capacity, and we were like, where do we sleep, right?
Yeah.
And we ended up finding this like off strip, hotel. And he called ahead of time. They told him that they had one room available. And I go in there and I walk in there and thinking, okay, all right, they have one room available. I go up to the girl and I'm like, all right, I'm here to, book a room. Oh, I'm sorry, we're all booked up. And I'm just like, we just called. You said you had one room available.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, we're all booked up. Well, at the time I was dating someone that was like, blonde hair, blue eyes, completely, fit the, white stereotype.
Yeah. Chad.
He goes in there. It was a Chad or a Blake. And he walks in there, and the thing that really bothered me about that whole situation was that he told me, he's like, watch what's going to happen right now. And I'm just like, what's going to happen? And he walks in there and he got us a room.
It's fucked up.
And I was like, oh shit, that's pretty fucked up. Like that's really fucked up.
Yeah.
It's
terrible,
so
man.
That was the first time that I ever experienced anything like that.
Mm.
And I'm just like, oh wow, like these people just, I don't know. It was like a racist experience that I never thought I would experience, but I experienced.
Yeah. I think everybody deals with some kind of racism, even if you're white, black, everybody, like even like, and it's terrible, because I met some pretty chill white guys, and they're not racist or like vote for Trump. They're pretty liberal, but I don't know, man. We just need society just needs to fucking chill, just smoke a joint and chill and just like relax, that's all the people need to do. I don't know. I think just people, I hope the new generation, they're going to be more liberal, so things will hopefully calm down, because it seems like we're going to have another civil war, and that's terrifying to think, if we're not already living in the civil war right now. Or like, what do you think? Do you think our country is going to be in something like that, or if it's already happening?
I think it already happened with
with the storming of the Capitol, right?
Yeah, I mean that was definitely the moment where I was like, okay, this is it, this is happening, But our country is divided right now, and I live very close to the city of Norco, and I have to drive through Norco to get to work every morning, to get back home every morning or every afternoon. And I drive through there, and there are all of these Trump fans that have his big flag and have his, there's a house that has like these cardboard cutouts of him in their front lawn. And I'm just like, I have to drive past there, and I'm just like, what is it? What are you saying? What is it that you're saying? First of all, he's not our president anymore. Mm-hmm. Like, what is it that you're saying? Are you saying that you wish he was our president? Are you saying that you're aligned with everything that he believes in? I don't know. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to think. And yeah.
Anna said it right. It's a cult. It's, he says something and it's people faced with facts. I'm like, no, he said it's true, and it's just, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy to see, man. And I don't care. I mean, I'm a registered independent. I don't care if people are Democrat or Republicans, but they're both fucked up systems, and I think we need another party. And to see somebody so, Trump did just, he said what he said what he thought, you know what I mean? And he had no filter, and I think that's what people liked about him. He went against I guess the establishment, but he's part of the establishment. And he doesn't care about fucking poor people. It's nuts to think.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna say this, and I don't know if this is controversial or not, but I'm gonna say it. I don't drive down the main highways in Norco. I drive down I have a shortcut to get home, and I drive down like the neighborhoods. Well, I saw a cop car, pull up into a home that had a Trump flag. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, okay, clearly this guy's not here to arrest anybody. This guy just coming home from work, right? Or going home because he's having lunch or whatever he's going to visit. It was very clear to me that he lived there and he had this big Trump flag in his front yard. And yet he was a cop. He was there in a cop car, and it was a Norco cop car. And so that got me thinking. I'm just like, they're everywhere. To me, it's really I'm just going to be really truthful here. When I see these obnoxious, oversized American flags on on someone's truck, to me that seems like it's racist. That's like saying "F you, go back to your country."
Yeah.
Do you feel that, or is that
No,
just me?
I mean, it almost seems like the Confederate flag, were what it stood for. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's like seeing that. It embodies that. But I mean, I know people who are minorities, Latinos, Black, that support Trump, and I don't know. I just don't get it. And what what do you think? Do you think like they don't see that, like the minorities who support Trump, or are they just all about Trumpism?
It's really hard to kind of like wrap my hands around it, because it's like you have, first of all, let me just say I was a huge Trump fan when he was on TV and he had The Apprentice. I was a huge fan. I was an avid fan of the show. I would watch every single episode. And I thought, oh, here is this man who is super professional and thinking, oh, he can. And hearing rumors at one point that he was going to run for president. And in my head, I'm thinking, oh, I love his show. He's super professional on his show.
Mm.
He would be a great president.
Yeah,
I would vote for this guy.
yeah,
And all of a sudden, it's like he's out there and he's campaigning and he's making these like blanket statements about Mexicans and, building
yeah,
a wall. And it's like, what? Like
yeah.
that really, honestly, that caught me off guard. And I was like, in that moment, I was like, okay, clearly I know who I'm dealing with now. I don't want any part of it. I really don't want
It's
any.
nuts. It's nuts to see like him like making fun of like a mentally challenged like person doing all that, and
Yeah.
like you would never believe like somebody would be elected acting like that, and he totally did, and he has this big, you know, as big following, and some people still believe he's the president and all that stuff. And
Right.
I don't know if you heard about that he was supposed to get like officially become the president at March 4th or something like that. You heard about that conspiracy about the QAnons or whatever they're fucking called, and it didn't happen.
Right. Yeah.
It's
Sure.
hilarious, but whatever, man. I I hope we'll change in the next 3 years with this administration, or I hope it doesn't get worse. I
Yeah.
mean, I heard he has serious plans about like running again for the next time, and I mean, there's a possibility he could get elected again, and that's filling me with anxiety.
Yeah.
I mean,
I have to say I'm not entirely 100% happy with this
but yeah,
current
yeah,
administration. I'm just like, wait a minute, didn't you promise this? Didn't you promise
uh-huh,
that?
yeah,
Why are you breaking bread with this cult that is anti-gay? It's just, I don't know. It's very perplexing to me. Why are you doing that? That doesn't make sense to me.
mhm,
Like, I get you're trying to appease to all demographics, all different types of people, but specifically this cult that just really hates the gay community. And why are you breaking bread with them?
yeah,
That part doesn't make sense to me. It's like it's almost as if it's all lip service.
yeah.
I don't know. What do you think about it?
Well, I think people should still talk to each other. Not like if they have different points of views,
Yeah.
They shouldn't close each other off. I think if somebody reaches a hand and, people should talk to each other. They should communicate with each other. Maybe just by hanging out, they could. It's like, hey, this guy's all right. Maybe I'll consider two men sleeping with each other is okay. But I think the most important thing right now is people communicate with each other and respect each other. And I think by doing that, people will see that we're basically the same because we all laugh, we all want to love, and we all want the best for our family and our country.
Right.
But I don't see why people are getting like all in a huff about same-sex marriage and people transgender or their gender identity. Who gives a shit? I don't give a shit. I'm like, as long as I don't pay for your shit, I'm okay. So whatever,
Right.
to each their own. As long as it's two consenting adults, I mean, fuck it, man. I don't care.
That's
I
that's
and what
exactly
pisses me off is that people who are on the other side of it, where like they're conservatives, like, well, if same couples marry each other, then then they're gonna start marrying animals. People are gonna start marrying their dogs. And
right.
I look at this, what the hell are you talking about? My pet is my pet. And plus, like, you need a consenting person to sign that marriage document. Like, a pet is not consenting. It's the fucking. I love my dogs, and I know they know me, but they don't fucking know.
That,
You
I
know what
mean,
I mean? It's like it's a fucking
when
animal. And
I
for
remember
them, that's an argument. Oh, why? How is that a valid argument? It's not.
in 2005, I remember reading a story and looking at pictures too, where this man, an actual human being, married a wall.
Where was this? Like, what
This,
state was it in America?
this was before. I don't know,
All right.
but this was before gay marriage was legal, and I'm just
Yeah.
thinking in the United States, and I'm thinking, how is someone able to marry a wall, but a man can't marry another man? That part to me didn't really make sense. And I mean, if we're going to talk about, we're venting here, right?
Yeah.
And if we're going to talk about venting, I'm not a very good venter, but I have to talk about the fact that when I was 17, we were both going to Norwalk High School. I wanted to donate blood. Okay. I go to the gym. And the lady that's helping me out is like asking me all these questions. She's like, have you ever been with the same sex? I said, well, not that it's any of your business, but yes, I have. And she says,
And that was a deal breaker. Like,
yeah,
that was a deal breaker. Like, she wouldn't let you.
she's like, you can't donate blood. And you know what? At the very beginning of the episode, you asked me about, have I ever lost my cool? I think in my entire life, that was the one time that I really lost my cool.
Yeah.
And I let it out. I let my frustrations out on this woman who had nothing to do with that law, with that regulation, whatever it is. And I let it out on her, and I felt really bad. But I just think that I want to help out. I want to donate my blood. You know, how can the government assume that,
You have a disease and shit. Yeah.
all gay people have diseases, and we're all whores or whatever it is that they think. I don't know that we all have HIV or AIDS. It's like, I don't have that. I'm very safe. I've been in a fucking committed relationship for 10 years. It's like almost 11 years. Give me a break. Like, all I want to do is help society. I want to donate my blood. And
Do you think that
do that?
Do you think that person who's did it out of like her beliefs too, or was she just following the government mandate or whatever?
No, she was just following whatever
protocol.
she was told to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Protocol.
I mean, because you could tell when people like they do it because they believe it, or people doing it because it's procedure or it's part of the regulations and stuff like that. Because you get that vibe,
Yeah.
But that's very like that sucks, man. That sucks.
It does. It really does. And anytime, even till this day, whenever I see any the Red Cross donate blood, it's like I want to. Believe me, I want to donate blood, but they don't want my blood.
You know,
And that,
I think that changed now. I don't know. I might be wrong, but I think they changed it.
have
Like,
they really? I don't know
I
that.
don't know. I mean, I felt I feel like I heard it on the radio that it's okay for same like men or same sex like gay people to
Mhm.
give blood now. I think that's okay now.
All right, I haven't heard that.
Yeah. Well, that
Yeah.
sucks, man. That's terrible. Like, and I mean, there is systematic racism out there, and that's something that bothers me too. That people think like, no, there isn't. Well, what the fuck are you talking about?
Right.
Is
Exactly.
just because you didn't see it or are blinded by it. I mean, it's still there, man, and everybody. I mean, especially minorities, they face it. It's terrible, and I hope that changes.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
hope so too. I mean, it's all I want to do is just donate blood. Can I
yeah,
do that? I mean,
yeah,
my blood is clean. Can I just freaking do that? And the interesting thing is that a lot of people don't know about it. A lot of people that I am, my family members, my friends, a lot of people don't know that gay people are not allowed to donate blood. That's a huge issue. It's like,
yeah,
spread awareness first. It's like you're playing off of, to me, it's like you're playing off of this stereotype, right? And stereotypes. We all know the
yeah,
stereotypes. We know the stereotypes about Mexicans, about Asians, about, it's like if we play off of the stereotypes about Asians, it's like, what comes to mind? It's driving, right?
mhm,
Those are the
yeah,
stereotypes.
yeah,
I'm not saying I believe in them. I'm just saying that's what's out there. It's
yeah.
like, are we gonna all of a sudden make up this law that says certain people can't drive or can't own a driver's license?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous to me.
Do you think this is controversial, but do you think insurance company like car insurances like their insurance rates are more like in Asian communities because they're like quote unquote bad drivers, or is it just like I mean I don't know, but it'll be fucked up if a company does that. They raise their rates in the Asian community,
Yeah,
and I mean I wouldn't put it past them, you know?
I have no idea, but at the same time, I would not be shocked if that
Yeah,
were the case.
that sucks, man. That we're that cynical. Or like if it breaks out, it's like of course, you know. And you
Yeah,
just move on with your day. It's terrible, man. And I think people just again they need to chill out. You know,
yeah,
um, like another thing that I guess since we're venting, like one thing that always bugged me was when people find out that like straight guys find out that I'm gay. It's like, oh, it's because you never been with the right woman, or you never met that chick that
yeah,
turned you back straight. You know what I mean? Then that happened to my brother. My brother and his friends, they took me into a strip club one time, and so they could set me right. But I was like, I was looking at these chicks. I'm like, this is fucking disgusting. I don't want
yeah.
to. Don't touch me. Like I got a lap dance and all that. I'm like, no, I'm just gonna get drunk. I mean, have you dealt with that? I'm sure you. I think every gay man has dealt with that.
I have. You know what? I have this really funny story. Is I used to go to TJ to Revolution Street
Yeah,
once a week, and
you're a
I would
party
go.
animal, dude.
Oh, yeah, no. This, I mean, Jesus Christ.
Oh,
This
back in
was
the day.
way
Yeah,
back in the day. Okay,
yeah,
I used to go. This was when I was like 18, 19,
yeah,
20.
man.
I used to go to Revolution Street all the time, and I used to go to this club called Animal,
Mm,
but it had an E at the end, Animale.
hmm
And I would go there, have a good time, and I went one time, and I had never been to a gay club in Mexico, in TJ. And I went, I got in a taxi, and I asked the taxi, I said, hey, do you know of any gay clubs in TJ? And he says, oh yeah, there's one that I know of. And I told him, I said, okay, this is all I have. This is the only cash I have. This is all my money. He's like, okay. He drove me to a place. He didn't even pull up to the driveway. He pulled up to the door. Like he drove up like on the sidewalk,
Mm.
pulled up right on, like right in front of the door. And it's almost as if he called the people ahead of time to say, hey, I'm about to bring a guy. You bring him in. He's VIP. Because when I walked in, they were treating me like VIP. I had to pay to get in, and all my money was gone. I had paid everything, right? I get in there, and then some guy escorts me to this lounge, and all of a sudden I see these naked women, and they're all walking towards me, and I'm just like, wait a minute, what the hell is this? And I go up to a guy and I'm like, to one of the workers, I'm like, what is this? Where am I? Oh, you're at a strip bar. And I'm like, that's not what I asked.
I want a dick.
Christian. No. Not even that. All I want to do was dance, listen to music, have a good time. I was so pissed off, Christian. I stormed out of the place. The taxi that took me there was still parked there.
Yeah.
And he looked at me and he was laughing. And I walked up to him and I said, how dare you do that to me? Yeah. I was like, you need to take me to where I told you I want to go. And you took all my money already. This club took all my money already. You need to take me there and I'm not going to pay you. He's like, all right, I'll take you. So he ended up driving me to this bar called Ecstasy, or I don't know, Ecstasies or Ecstasy, whatever. He ended up taking me there, but that whole experience that I was telling you about took about, it was like close to 2 hours.
Fuck, man. Oh my, that's fucked up. That's fucked up, dude.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it is, man. Cause like, did it cost anything to go to that club Ecstasy? Was it free? Cause you gave him all your money. How did you, how did you get in?
No. It wasn't free. I had to pay like, I don't know. I don't remember, like five American
$5. Well, that sucks, man. You thought it was like a big joke.
Just forewarning you, anytime you're in Mexico and you're at an ATM, they don't necessarily give you American dollars. They'll give you pesos. Yeah. So you have to know the exchange rate. And I was so naive to all that and ignorant. I didn't know what the exchange rate was. I made my way in there eventually, but yeah, it was just a crazy experience. And I'm like, after that time, I was like, I can't go. I can't go to TJ anymore.
I never went to TJ. Like, I mean, I have been to TJ, but not like on my own in my youth, looking to do shenanigans over there. That's something I wish I'd done when I was younger, because right now it's dangerous. My brother Diego, he goes to TJ. He goes to Mexico on his own, and he parties it up. And I'm like, I hope you don't get kidnapped, because we don't have the money. So, I mean, that's something I miss. I wish I would have done when I was younger.
Yeah.
Would you recommend it now to the youth?
You know what? I have not been, since that moment, I have not been back to TJ, but I have been to Ensenada. I've been to Valle de Guadalupe. I've been to Puerto Vallarta. I've been to all of these places in Mexico, and I'll be very honest with you. I feel very safe. I think that, so let me just share a story with you. In 2020, during the pandemic, I went to Puerto Vallarta, and it was me. So Robert and I went, and we were very weary about the whole situation. Mm-hmm. We were trying to be very safe, and we're staying at this place, and it was just the two of us. And we end up just taking Ubers and taxis to wherever we're going to go. Well, we end up speaking to some of the locals, and some of the locals were telling us that, oh yeah, America is very, very stringent on all of the COVID rules. And I'm like, no, that's not true. I was like, actually, you guys enforce it here way more than the United States, because as soon as we landed in the airport, some guys like in like they look like they were beekeepers. They show up and they start like fumigating our bags
Crazy.
at the airport,
Yeah.
and then they start spraying us, and we're like, what the hell? Like, what's going on? And not only that, but every single time that we would have to walk into a restaurant or a bar, we had to step on this like pad that was like full of bleach, and then they took our temperature. So it was, I felt extremely safe in Puerto Vallarta.
Yeah.
The only time that I didn't feel safe, where Robert and I left, was when we went to this bar called Industry, and we were there, and it was just the two of us. They had a DJ there, although it was just two people in the bar. They had a DJ, and we were listening to 80s music, and we were like telling the DJ, oh, play Gwen Stefani, play 80s music, play whatever. And we were having a good time. And then out of nowhere, 11 o'clock hits, and then all these people start showing up. And there's a couple drag queens that show up from RuPaul's Drag Race,
Mhm.
and nobody has masks on. And there's a shitload of people in there in the bar. And I'm like, okay, this isn't safe. So I told Robert, let's
Get out
go.
of here.
Let's get out of here. I didn't come here for this. I came here to have like a peaceful Puerto Vallarta time.
Yeah.
And so we left, and I'm not going to say which drag queens, but you know, they're popular, but I'm not going to say who they are.
Yeah.
But it was just like, how dare you, you know?
Like, like they didn't care. You know?
Like they didn't care. Like, how dare you show up? You could have shown up with a mask on. You could have shown up and you could have been prepared, but none of these people had masks on. And I'm going to tell you that at some point they had opened up a whole area where it was almost like a warehouse where all these gay guys moved in there with like without shirts on, like with muscles and six packs, and they go in there and they're dancing to this like if they were at Oz or Rage, and I'm just like, wait a minute.
It's not that. This is not good, guys. You know?
No, we're in the middle of a pandemic. I don't get why you're doing all of this.
So people, they rather have fun than be safe.
Yeah, exactly.
So you guys just left and went back to the room?
We left and went back to the room. Actually, we left and went to this taco place, like a street taco place.
Yeah.
And we ordered some tacos. Thankfully, they had potato tacos, so I was able to eat some tacos. And
all right on, man.
Yeah, we took them back to the hotel and we ate them there, and we were good to go. But yeah, that was really weird. I'm just like, I'm thinking, why are all these people dancing? And I don't know. You know what? Puerto Vallarta is very unique. Have you ever been there, Christian?
No, I never been. No, I haven't.
It's very unique because you have, in certain points of Puerto Vallarta, you feel like you're at Huntington Beach. You feel like you're walking Main Street at Huntington Beach or at Seal Beach on Main Street, and you're just like, okay, this feels like home. Yeah. But you're in Mexico, and you have these people who are unfortunately very dismissive to the locals, and I'm just like, wait a minute, you traveled all the way over here to Mexico to be dismissive to the locals? Like, what's that about? I don't get that.
Do you think that's like an American thing? Do you think
it's not just Americans? It's Canadians. It's
really?
Europe. It's not just American. It's this mindset that I'm better than you, and that's the part that I have a big issue with it, because I'm there and I'm just like, wait a minute, what did you just say to this guy who's who's here? Like, what did you just say? It's mind-boggling to me, but I love Puerto Vallarta. It's probably one of the safest cities in Mexico, probably in the whole world. It's very protected, and I love Puerto Vallarta, and it's very fun.
Well, I hope to travel soon, because my birthday is in November, and I was considering to go to Vegas, but we were thinking about it even more and saying, no, it's still too dangerous right now. And I mean, the whole reason I go to Vegas is to go to the buffets. I don't, I don't. I mean, I'm not about the clubs. I mean, I go to the bars, but my
Yeah,
main when I travel anywhere, I always try to hit up the restaurants. Because I'm a
yeah.
foodie. Yeah. But since they were closed, I'm like, what's the fucking point? I might as well
Yeah,
just stay home.
what's your favorite restaurant in Vegas?
Oh, I would say the Peppermill. Have you heard of the Peppermill?
No, never.
I think they shot a scene of The Hangover in that movie.
Okay.
But I had a club sandwich there, and every to this day I tell everybody this, that's the best club sandwich I ever had in my life. It came with onion rings. The onion rings like it had flavor, because when you go to some spots, the onion rings, they don't taste like anything. You just bite into it, it's just like deep fried. But
Right.
everything had flavor. Like it was quality food, and they give like the portions are good, and yeah, the Peppermill is one of my favorite places there. And for breakfast, if I'm gonna do a buffet breakfast in Vegas, either the Circus or the Excalibur for the buffet breakfast brunch. I love
Okay.
brunch. I love getting my plate and adding like a bunch of eggs, a bunch of bacon, and just going on town. That's me.
So my favorite buffet in Vegas is, I have to say, it's a Caesar's Palace.
Okay.
It's my
That's the
favorite.
expensive one, right? That's where they have like the lobster and like the filet mignons or something like that. It's
They
top
have
notch.
they have everything. They have everything there. My favorite for many 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 years was the Carnival buffet, which was at the Rio.
Mhm.
And somebody told me about the Caesar's Palace buffet, and I show up there and I'm like, whoa, this buffet is
Yeah,
really good. Like
it's
they have a
opulent.
good selection of seafood, of meats, of vegetarian food. Like they have everything there. I freaking loved it. And so if you ever, I've been itching to go to Vegas, honestly.
Hey man, let's make it so. We should go like with our spouses over there. That'll be fun.
All right, all right.
Yeah, yeah, man. I don't know when, but
I'm
let's make it official. I last year I watched more TV in my life than I ever done in 2020. I'm burnt out watching TV. I need to fucking go out. Um, and
what
that's
did you watch?
Oh man, like during the pandemic, like which was a year ago, I was watching like all the like apocalyptic movies like 12 Monkeys, Terminator, what's another one, 28 Days Later.
Oh yeah.
Uh, I think I don't know. I think it was just like a coping mechanism for me, because I knew the outcome of those movies and I didn't know the outcome of this reality. You know what I mean? I think that's why I watch those movies, just for therapy. But what'd you watch this last year?
What did I watch? I watched a novela on Netflix called La Monarca.
Never heard of it. Ever since I moved out of my mom's house, I don't watch novellas anymore.
No.
Nah.
Yeah, it's La Monarca, and it's about this family in Mexico that owns a plantation of you know, agave,
Mhm.
and they make tequila,
Yeah.
and it's full of drama. It's kind of like a House of Flowers. Have you seen that? Have you seen that show?
No.
You've never seen House of Flowers? Oh my god, you need to watch.
I seen House of Cards.
Oh, I've never seen that show. I've heard of it, but I've never seen House of Cards. House of Flowers is this like super dramatic novella. You have to, honestly, I recommend it. You should watch it.
What like what's Just give me like a short snippet. Like what's the premise of the show? Just
So
like real
the
quick.
premise of the show is they play on the fact that Mexican families have a lot of secrets
Mhm.
and they lie a lot, and they're always like, okay, we're gonna protect the family, and we're gonna say this, and we're not gonna tell the truth, and they hide someone having an affair, they hide someone being gay, they hide someone being, just being unfaithful to their husband, and
Skeletons in the closet, like everybody,
skeletons
right?
in the closet, and Veronica Castro is on the first season, which Do Veronica Castro, right?
I heard that name plenty of times. Yes. Yeah.
She was in the original freaking novela Rosa Salvaje. Have you ever seen it?
Sounds very familiar. You know what? You know what novella I did see? Like I saw it with my ex was Betty La Fea or La Fea las the Ugly Betty, the Spanish one with
Oh, okay, all right.
that was a long time ago.
Never saw that one.
I watched it from the beginning to the end, the whole fucking thing. I know how it fucking ends. I was like really into it. Like it was on every day. But go on.
I like Ugly Betty. I saw the American version. I didn't see the Spanish version.
I like the Spanish version better. It was just I don't know. I just like the original stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Well, I mean, if I ever comes up, I'll probably check it out. But I'm not gonna make any promises that I'm gonna make out of my way to watch a novella. Because John and Alex, they were watching Jane the Virgin, and it's a play on the Spanish novella. But it's in English, and it's interesting. But we petered out of that series. I think after like the second season, we stopped watching it. But I don't know. I just not into those. I like sci-fi stuff, or like I watch a lot of sitcoms, a lot of them. Like like King of the Hill and The Simpsons. I watch that all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, hence my humor.
So I
But
have someone that's in my family who was in Jane the Virgin,
oh yeah,
was in Girlfriends, who was in the the last movie that Sylvester Stallone was in.
Mhm.
Her name's Vanessa,
Mhm.
and you should have her on your show, dude.
Oh, I mean, yeah, like I would like to talk to independent like actors, producers, writers. People
Yeah,
are just starting out, and hopefully someday Brad Pitt.
right.
But who
Yeah,
knows? But whatever. But like, yeah, like send me like her info, and I'll
yeah.
check her out.
No, no, no.
Um,
You should talk to her because she's very opinionated and she's been on a lot of popular TV shows that you've watched. Jane the Virgin,
definitely. Yeah.
girl, that show Girlfriends that came out right after Sex and the City. She came out on, I think it was Blood. God, I don't remember the name of the name. I don't remember the name of the movie, but it was a Sylvester Stallone movie.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, what year did it come out? Do you know?
Uh, Last year or 2 years ago.
I don't know. I mean, the only thing I know is like he did Rambo and Rocky and
It was Rambo.
Creed. It was Rambo? Oh,
Last,
okay.
it was the last Rambo movie. Vanessa played the Chola in
Mhm.
that movie,
Okay.
and she had a big part in it. And yeah, and so you should probably have her on.
Sure, man.
Yes.
I'll check her out.
Okay.
Um, let's see. Is there anything else that you want to vent before I wrap up the show or anything?
Do I want to vent about anything?
Or does anybody watching do you guys want to vent? If not, that's fine.
Oh yeah, I saw that on Facebook that you had asked if anybody had anything that they wanted to vent about.
Yeah. And if it's okay, it's fine. It's fine.
Did you get anything?
No, it's just nothing like complaining about work or anything like that. Well, I see somebody saying yes, and it's my Aunt Anna.
Anna.
Hey, what's up? I love that you watch my show. Her daughter. What? What's going on?
Okay.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Well, I'm going to wait. For the last two episodes that I had, we didn't do a top seven, but since we're doing a venting episode, it was really easy for me to do a top seven about things that piss me off. So that was like a no-brainer. So I'm gonna do seven things that let me see, what is it tonight? Seven things I want to bitch about, and we'll comment along the way.
Okay.
So okay, number seven, living paycheck to paycheck, because I hate doing that, man. Because I'm always I hate checking my bank account because I don't want to see how much I spend. because that worries me. That stresses me out. Do you do the same thing?
What do you want me to say?
I mean, I want you to be truthful.
I'll be truthful. I've been very fortunate enough to not have to look at my bank account.
Well, that's cool, man. Do you get a lot of people hating on you for that, or no? Are they? Yeah, huh?
I
Your
do.
face says yes.
I do. Despite just, you know what? I'm a very kind person. I'm a very generous person, and I have a very close, circle of friends. And somehow I still have people that just hate on me.
Yeah,
I really don't. I honestly, Christian, I don't know why. I have people that just hate on me that I'm just thinking to I don't spend a lot of time thinking about it, but when I do, I'm just like, why did these people hate me?
yeah. Why?
Anything to them. I don't know. I'm a very positive person. I'm a very good friend. I will, if you need me to be there, like I'm talking about.
You're dependable. You're a dependable person.
Right. I'm talking about when shit gets real.
Real.
If you need me to be there, I will be there.
Yeah.
I will be there, Christian. I will, you know what I mean? Like, I will be there for my friends. I don't understand why people still talk shit about me. I don't know what it is. I
think it's just people being petty. You know what I mean? Nothing's going on in their lives that they have to, talk shit about you behind your back. That's terrible, man. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
But you know what? Do you lose any sleep from it or not? Or you just kind of like, well, whatever, and just move on? Because fuck it.
Christian, as honestly, I don't care. Like, when I was 16, 17, I had to deal with a lot of people staring at me because of the whole gay thing and because I'm walking into a room with another man. I remember there was one time, and this has been many, 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 many times, but there was one time in particular when I walked into a room in at Pachanga.
Mm-hmm.
And I was walking in, I wasn't holding hands with anybody, but I walked in with my partner at the time, and we walked in together, and 90% of the people that were in the room turned to look at us like we were crazy.
Yeah.
And I will never forget that moment because I'm just like looking around thinking like, what? I'm not even holding anybody's hand. First of all, I'm not making out with anybody.
Yeah.
I'm not holding anybody's hand. I'm just walking into a room with another man, and you're assuming that we're together, which we were. It was a safe assumption, but at the same time, it's like
they got a little weird about it. It made you feel like a creep.
Judgment. Yeah, right. I felt the judgment, and people were looking at us like, ooh.
Yeah.
And I felt that.
I think every same sex couple, they feel that all the because I have to come out of the closet every fucking day. You know what I mean? If I'm meeting a stranger, they always assume that I have kids, I have a wife, But I always thought like, oh, I have a boyfriend. And then I have two boyfriends. It's like, what? You must be a liberal. But yeah, it's I always have to come out of the I always have to come out of the closet, and sometimes I don't come out of the closet at work. I just let them assume that I'm straight because it's not their problem. It's not, you know what I mean? They don't need to know because I don't want them to know. Because I just need to work.
There are certain moments where I volunteer that information and I tell them, the
people that I trust at work. I let them know.
But there have been many times where people assume, like I've been on, like, I've been working for a lot of health systems, okay? And I have a high position in these health systems, and I'm talking to vendors, I'm talking to people, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, your wife, or oh, your kids. And I'm just like, what gave you the idea that I have a wife, that I
Yeah.
have kids? Why would you assume that I have that? You know,
Yeah.
and I have no problem correcting people. I have no problem
Right on.
saying, yeah, I'm not gonna walk into the closet, Christian. Like I've been in the closet since I was, 15, 16 years old. I'm not gonna go back there. As soon as I came out of the closet when I was 16 and a half, 17 years old, that was it.
Mm.
I'm not gonna go back in there. So
Good for you.
if somebody says something to me, I'm gonna correct them. That's
Right
the
on.
way I navigate my life now. And it is what it is. And if somebody says, "Oh, your wife," I tell them, But if it's a situation where I'm talking to, like, let's say, a customer, I can say through that. I'm not gonna correct the customer.
Yeah.
But if it's someone that I'm working with, that I'm doing business with, that's a vendor, I'll correct them. But I won't correct the customer. The customer is like venting and saying whatever they need to say, right?
Yeah.
I won't correct them, but I will correct a vendor or somebody that I'm working very closely with.
I see, man. I mean, I don't know, it's because maybe I'm intimidated, but sometimes maybe I'm not as open as you. You know what I mean? I don't correct people. I just let them assume, and I just move on. And
Yeah.
I do struggle to let people know that I'm gay, because it just sucks coming out of the closet all the time. I don't want
Right.
to think about it. It's like, oh, is this guy gonna be weird about it? Because when you tell straight guys, they get like all kind of tense, and you think they're gonna, they put the guard up. They're like, chill, dude. Unless you start fucking flirting with me, and then
Well, see, you
that's
know what? The thing about that, Christian, is that I've had that before. I've had like straight guys talk to me about whatever, and then I tell them, "Oh, I'm gay," and all of a sudden it's like,
yeah, they clam up. They become like, yeah,
"Whoa, yeah."
yeah,
And
whatever.
I get that, but I don't pay attention to that. I'm still myself, and I'm gonna act the way I
Good,
act.
good for
And
you, man.
if you like it, you like it. If you don't like it, tough. I really don't care. Honestly, I don't care what you think. Like, I know that sounds really terrible, Christian, but I really don't care what you think.
Well, at some point in your life, when you get older, that's when you stop caring and you just live your life.
Right.
That's the sign of
Right.
maturity. We're mature sometimes. Uh,
Right.
okay. Number six. Number six. The check engine sign that won't go away in my car. That shit's been on, and the guy told me I need a catalytic converter. And I looked at him and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't drive a Cadillac. Yeah. But I mean, I give my car like 2 quarts of oil every 2 weeks because it burns it up. But yeah, man, that's something I want to bitch about is the chickens inside of my car. I'm like, because I did the estimate for the catalytic converter. It's $2,000 to get it replaced, and the labor and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And we don't have that fucking money. I mean, eventually the car's gonna need it. But at the moment, it's not acting funny. But then again, I don't want it to turn something like bigger, and that's not going to be like a bigger problem. But right now, I'm kind of like in a comfort zone. Like I'm in a nice place where
Right.
like it's not fucking up my car too much. So we'll see. I'll post social media when my car breaks down in the middle of the road and shit. Um, so I saw your face right now. All right, let's do number 5. Having to watch what I eat every time, because I store my fat. Like, once if I eat a cheeseburger, like the next day it's gonna be on the scale. I can't burn it off right away. I always have to be conscious of what I eat. Like I have to like I have to schedule every day what I'm gonna eat. Like today I'm gonna eat chicken and rice. Tuesday I'm gonna have salmon. You know what I mean? Do you do that? Do you worry about what you eat, or you just like, fuck it, I'll just order whatever and the hell with the calories?
So, yes, there's this. I have this like dichotomy of what I want to eat versus what I actually eat, and it's very different. Like, for instance, I try to eat a lot of Mediterranean food, right?
I love Mediterranean, dude.
I freaking love it too. There's falafel, there's tofu, there's I don't know, bulgur rice. There's so much that you can eat, right? But then on the flip side, I'm just like, I'm hungry and I'm Mexican and I want champurrado, I want conchas, I want pan dulce, I want all of that, right? And there's a balance, right? That I have to make sure that I fit into my life, because if I don't have that balance, it's like,
I need balance in my life.
Yeah.
I like controlling things. I just can't just wake up the day and I figure everything out. I have to set everything. Like, I have to have a schedule for everything, you know? It's
Right.
just the way I am.
Yeah.
Because if I don't have it, I start getting grumpy. It's like, fuck, man.
And dude, Christian, you were so close to Northgate that you can have fresh churros anytime you want.
Dude, yeah.
Fresh champurrado anytime you want.
It's a blessing and a curse.
Right.
Because when we moved in, the last weekend we bought some stuff from Northgate. I got like a burrito bowl, and my guys they got a torta because they could afford it. The calorie wise, but yeah, it's I'm probably gonna end up going over there after the show to get something to eat. But anyways,
okay,
that's
cool.
later on. Let's see, number 4, the mornings. I'm not a morning person at all. I just don't talk to me. Just leave me alone, and then like around 9 o'clock, I'll slowly start waking up. Personally, I think a lot of people would be in better moods if life began like at 10 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think people would live a lot happier and less stressful life if they just wake up. They get to work at 10. That's where everything begins. I like everything. I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah, you know
Are you a morning person?
That doesn't work for me. I'm not a morning person, like naturally, like it doesn't come out of me, but because I've been in the professional job environment for the last 20 years, I have to wake up early. So despite me not being a morning person, I have to wake up early no matter what.
Yeah. Same here. I mean, like, it's part of being an adult. Like, I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I have to clock in before 7:30, and people are very talkative when I get to work, and I can't snap at them. I say, hey, how you doing, Shelly? Nice to meet you. How's your day? But at home, I just do grunts like, when's breakfast? That's how I navigate in the morning with my friends and family. But at work, I gotta switch on the nice.
Right.
But anyways, okay. Number three. Thoughtless people. I just don't get it. Why are people so thoughtless? I get maybe like for like people who are like juveniles, like teenagers, kids. I mean, of course, they're kids. Of course, they're thoughtless. But like full on adults, like who are thoughtless and they don't give a shit. It's like, what? Like, who the fuck raised you? Like, even people who were raised right, they act like shitty people, and I just don't get it. Like, I don't know if it's in their DNA to be like dicks.
Yeah.
I don't know, and I avoid them as much as possible because, I get a good feel of people, and if I feel like bad energy, I don't talk to them. I steer away unless I have to do a project with them. It's like shit.
You know what? There's two type of people. I believe that there is a giver and there's a taker. Mm-hmm. And I don't mean in the gay way. I mean, there's a receiver and then there's the
catcher and the pitcher.
Catcher and the pitcher. Thank you. Yeah. That's so true. It's like there's the people that are so generous that are just give, that are so generous and they give to everybody. And it doesn't matter if they were 15 years old when they did this, or 30 or 35 or 40 when they did this, they're still that same person. They give. And then there's the people that receive it. And I'm not saying that the receivers are bad people. I'm just saying that, you're susceptible. If you're a giver, you're susceptible to bad people, because you could be a giver and have people that take advantage of you, right?
Yeah.
You can have people that are
They use your niceness.
purposely looking for someone like you that fits your description, that says, okay, I'm looking for this person because they're super nice. They're nice. They're givers. They're gonna pay for my gas. They're gonna pay for my rent. They're gonna pay for my clothes, or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
You have these people that do that. And so to me, I believe there are givers and there are takers. And I'm not necessarily saying that the takers are bad people, but if you are a person that takes advantage of other people, then you're going to be in my world, you'll be a bad taker, right?
Yeah.
And you'll fit into that category where I'm just like,
No, I totally get it.
With you.
Yeah, like I'm a nice guy, especially at work. Like I've always tried to help everybody out, but sometimes I see people as like, oh, I think they think I'm a pushover and they could tell me what to do, as in like taking their workload, or keeping things on the down low, whatever it may be that they tell me. But I have my limits when I say no, and I have to be stern with them. But I don't like showing that side of me, because I feel like people get scared and they don't talk to me anymore. But whatever. Okay. Let's see. Number 2, not having enough time in the day, for your things, because like you spend 8 hours at work, and sometimes if you do overtime, that fucks up the rest of your day. And because I work 8 hours, I would like to work out. I like to like make dinner, spend time with John and Alex, and see my mom and dad. But you can't do it Monday through Friday, because Monday through Friday you have to work and you don't have enough time in the day. Because I'm a late owl. I'm a night owl, and my time to be creative is at 9 o'clock, and then I finish like at 2 or something like that. And I can't do that with the job that I have right now. And not having enough time in the day is something that I want to bitch about. Do you find like you make time for yourself? Like, because now you have a job, now you have to schedule things out, right? Where before you just did whatever you wanted,
Can you have this logo? All right.
Oh,
So,
what logo? I didn't see any logo. Uh-oh.
I'll be honest with you. I go to work. I'm not going to tell you where I work, but I do drive a distance. I drive about an hour and a half from my home to get there. And to drive back, it's about 2 hours. So by the time I get home, it's about 7 p.m. And this is me leaving at 6 a.m., okay? If not earlier. So
what do you do? Like, what time do you go to sleep? What time do you go to sleep? Because like, if you have to wake up so early, I mean, do you eat dinner and then go to sleep? Like, yeah.
I have about a 2-hour time frame to do what I have to do.
Yeah.
If whatever's priority to me, whether it's eating food, spending time with my significant other, working out, whatever it is, I can tell you that I have not worked out in a while.
Yeah.
And that has not been my priority. My priority has been eating dinner, fixing myself dinner, and spending time with my significant other. And by the time I'm done doing that, my 2 hours are up, and it's time for me to go to bed. And I have to repeat, Monday through Friday. And so on the weekend, it's a little interesting because You know, I can either go one way or another. I can spend time with my significant other. I can spend time with my family, or I could just do what I'm doing now, which I'm talking to you. I'm alone. I can, you know, have these SSBs.
Yeah. It sucks. I wish I was young. I wish I was like 19 and just wake up and do whatever the fuck I wanted. You know, I
Yeah.
regret not appreciating those days. But whatever, it's fine. I have a good handle of my life right now. But
Good.
it's part of growing up, and I think it's part of it. You got to move on with that shit. You know. But all right. Number one thing that I want to bitch about is the 4 hour Zack Snyder cut of the Justice League. Because you know, it's just too fucking long. I mean, Lawrence of Arabia wasn't even 4 hours long, and Zack Snyder needs four hours to tell the Justice League story. I mean, I'm gonna give it a shot. I started watching like the first part of it. It's entertaining to watch, but 4 hours just seems pretty much. It's much. It's too much. You know.
Yeah.
Are you into those movies?
No.
No, not at all. Not even like the Marvel movies, which are superior movies.
Okay.
That's a
I'll
no.
be honest. Full disclosure, I am not into. I have not watched a movie. Okay. You know, in the last year, I watched one movie, and that was Coming to America 2.
Yeah. Well, how was it? Did you like it?
It was good.
It
It
was
was
good.
cheesy, a little
Yeah.
cheesy, but I liked it.
Right on. Like some movies are just popcorn movies. You just watching, you have fun with it. It doesn't have to be fucking, Citizen Kane all the time. Movies are supposed to be entertaining.
Right.
Yeah, entertainment. But is there before I call it a night? Is there anything else that you wanna vent or you wanna? Where can people follow you? Anything you want to shout out before we end it?
You know what? I'll say this. Like I told you earlier, I have been writing music since I was 10, 11 years old.
Mhm.
And, you know, I'm not a singer. I don't play an instrument, but I am a producer. I could write a song and you will never know that I don't know how to play an instrument. If you could, at this point in my career, if you could support me in any way, I would really appreciate it. If it's, listening to the song or,
Following on
buying
YouTube.
on YouTube or iTunes or whatever, I'd appreciate
Yeah,
it.
yeah, will do, man. So if you guys are watching, please support my friend Josh Martin on his YouTube page and listen to his song, read his book, and yeah, man. Thanks, dude. It was a fun show, don't you think?
Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. So before I head out, I want to thank Emmanuel for setting this up for us. If you guys want to produce your own talk show, your own podcast, please hit up his company, Livestream My Event, and he'll set you up in the same way. And until next time, I'll see you guys in 2 weeks, barring any incidents that I have to postpone again. But it looks good so far. So thank you for watching. Thank you, Josh Martin, for joining us tonight. And I'll see you in 2 weeks. Okay, guys? Have a good week. Bye.